Hey critics, and welcome back to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel where you get commentary reviews and tabloid news. I'm your host, Patricia Hartley. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. We are live on this Sunday, April the 5th, 2026. Hey critics, it's time to chronicle. Well, happy Easter to all those celebrating today. May your day be filled with all of the blessings and goodness that you, of course, want it to be filled with. And of course, this month, y'all, is National Library Week. It's going to be April the 19th through the 25th, 2026. And of course, all magazines and most books mentioned in today's episode is going to be sourced through Hoopla, Flipster, or Libby, all free streaming platforms made possible through our local library. And let's just go ahead and get the business out the way, y'all. Here at the Critic Chronicles, our goal is to provide quality but juicy content from websites, digital magazines, and tabloids, most of which are sourced from our public libraries. Research from the National Library of Medicine show that there are an estimated 17,000 public libraries nationwide, totaling 4 million visits each day. Public libraries are civic organizations that are committed to providing invaluable resources beyond books that are free and open to the public. Get your library card to access thousands of resources today. Now, before I get into the things, y'all, I heard that they canceled The Bachelorette because there was like a problem with the main contestant. And forgive me because I didn't even bother with the details. I was just busy casting my own set of ladies for the Golden Bachelorette, if you know what I mean. And I, of course, would sprinkle Black Girl Magic. I don't think that that's a surprise. All over the roses and the rose herself, okay? Some of my top runners, just bear with me here before I get into it, okay? Number one is Vivica Fox, baby. She's 60 and sexy. She also had Vivica's Black Magic, where you remember the one where she created the first all-male exotic dance group? So she ain't new to this, boo. She's true to this. She could also wrangle the men in, do some kind of a theme. This ain't Texas, cowboy thing, whatever it might be. But I think Vivica Fox would be great for the running. Elise Neal, also 60 and sexy, always got something going on, okay? She's very vibrant, bright, sassy. She's also rumored to have dated back in the day, Rick Ross in the early 2000s, and she used to be engaged, I think, to him as well, but she ain't never been married. So I think she would be somebody that I'd like to watch, because I already like to watch her on Instagram already. Garcelle Bouvet, I think I'm saying her last name right. She turned 60 this year, already on the Housewives franchise, and forgive me if Garcelle already got a man, because guess what? I ain't seen him in public, so you fancy, huh? Literally, you fancy from the Jamie Foxx show. Y'all, I don't know what I'm thinking about, but the Haitian community, I think, would eat it up, sac passe, because I think Garcelle's, her roots is from Haiti. Anyway, Vanessa Williams. Now, Vanessa is currently on Broadway in Europe promoting The Devil Wears Prada, the musical, where she's basically playing the role of Miranda Priestley. She's also the former Miss America, and we ain't talking about strip titles today, okay? She earned the title fair and square, so hush, I don't want to hear nothing else. Okay? I guess that's really four, but if I had wild cards, these are the two people that I would pick and put in the category. I would say Gayle King and also Lynn Whitfield. Those are my two. Those are the Wildcat cards. But, I don't know what's going on with The Bachelorette. I know that they said that some girl was on abuse charges or something. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, let's go ahead and wrangle in the Golden Bachelorette era, and let's go ahead and add in some of my suggestions. I'm just throwing it out there. Now, y'all, let's get into Black on the Inside of People Magazine's April the 13th issue. Meg Thee Stallion, she's basically on Broadway, and although I've reported that before, she actually recently collapsed on stage, or should I say mid-performance. She almost nearly collapsed, on stage mid-performance during her Broadway show, where she's starring as Zidler in Moulin Rouge, the musical, in NYC. But no worries, that was not for long. The hot girl is back in business and ready to perform. According to Lauren LaRosa, though, she was very dehydrated and had to be rushed to the hospital during one of her performances. But she did release a statement on Instagram, and this is what she basically said. Last night was a real wake-up call for me. I've been pushing myself past my limits lately, running on empty, and my body finally said enough. It honestly scared me. I thought I was going to faint on stage. I really tried to push through my performance, but I just couldn't. The hottie just needed a day to rest, and she was back to it. But glad that you are back to it, Megan Thee Stallion. Listen, I'm telling you, doing Broadway and doing, I think they say it's 8 shows. I'm not sure if it's all in one. I don't know how maybe it's like a matinee on Sundays. Sometimes you do 2 shows on Sundays or whatever, so that could make it. But every night that you're doing this performance, and all of the things, it can definitely be tiring, but it's, in my opinion, it's very rewarding. But I also come from the world of theater, so I have a different take when it's, that's my beginning, y'all. That was my beginning, okay? And side note, there is a special curtain call performance that's been added for Megan during her 8-week run. She performs basically a medley of her greatest hits, including Body Yaddy Yaddy, and of course, I'm a Savage. Glad to see that you are better, Megan, and back to business. And speaking of back to business, let's talk Brandy right now. That's been a hot topic, baby. She has a brand new book called Phases, and she also recently received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So congratulations to Brandy. Yeah, she received that on basically Monday, March the 30th. There was so many people there to basically support her. Her star is basically number 2,839, and it's one of the biggest crowds that they've had, according to investor Jerry Newman. Sibley Scholes was there. She served as the MC at Brandy's ceremony. Jennifer Lewis, shout out to Jennifer. I don't want nobody. I will spare y'all today, but I love that skit that her, Brandy, there was a lady she did it with, and then there was a guy that she did it with as well. But I will tell you the one that she did with the guy where she say she ain't no legend. She ain't no legend. Listen, y'all, Jennifer Lewis I think her book was called like The Mother of Black Hollywood or something like that. And I feel like that was rightly suited just for Jennifer Lewis. But Jennifer Lewis was basically there. Of course, Brandy's daughter, Sarai, was there. Her mom, her dad. Frank Gaston Jr., American director and choreographer, he was there. Erica Campbell caught her in the audience with her husband as well. Monica was there, of course. Kaylani, remember I was telling you that Kaylani did a version of Folded. I think she did like maybe 5 different versions. One of those versions was with Tank, which I loved, and the other one was with Brandy, which I loved. Like, their voices molded and melted together. So if you have not had an opportunity to hear that version of Folded with Kaylani and Brandy, baby, you are missing out. But listen to it. Their vocals go together it's so crisp, so clean, so remarkable, darling. Issa Rae and Babyface both spoke at the star-studded event, and although Brandy has expressed loving her brother Ray J from a distance, he's still all up and through the book, even though he was not there at the ceremony. I know that they have some challenges. It's kind of going, well, Ray J got his own challenges, child. We don't know if he up today, heart disease tomorrow, suing the Kardashians suing him. Y'all, we all know now, y'all, the tape was planted. We know that it was not. I don't believe at all it was an accident. I don't know about nobody else, but yeah, it was an accident that turned into a multi-million-dollar, not only business for one person, but the entire family. Yeah, and it also helped that you got ties, of course, with O.J. Simpson. That only further, I think, like puts you in the American landscape of all of the things, just because of that connection as well. But getting back to Brandy, Us Magazine took us back to the Moesha days in their February issue, highlighting some of the best moments from the show Moesha. Brandy basically playing the role of Moesha, for me personally, was definitely not only a television classic, but it was her hair that also made it more relatable. I don't know if I told y'all this, but if you haven't heard already, I always had this connection with braids. There's this picture that my mama got of me when I was a baby, and she had me in braids, so it always felt like this thing, this feeling like Trisha with the braids. It just always seemed like that. So, and also, side note, Dee from the movie Clueless, it made me think to myself, like, okay, the girls out in California, they're in touch. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about how they talk, baby. They're still in touch. That talk ain't got nothing to do with the fact that they in touch with their roots, okay? But yeah, the Moesha, the television classic, it tackled a lot of relatable issues, including being boy crazy, transitioning from high school to college, having a step parent, of course, and shout out to Cheryl Lee Ralph, one of my faves. And then what that looks like in a household, inequality, family dynamics, while also still like being witty, being charming and unplugged. But come to find out, which, you hear a lot of actors talking about it, but she felt a lot of pressure because she played the role of Moesha. And it was this image, it seemed like, to be perfect at all times, not just as Moesha, but also I feel like as Brandy, as well. That's why we have some it's not inconsistencies, but some challenges that she had throughout as a result of her saying something that wasn't true, like about her being married. But on the show, Moesha, there were so many guest appearances that included like Kobe Bryant, remember Kobe, Usher, LeAnn Rimes, Mary J. Blige, and many more. I also remember when Brandy and Kobe were reportedly dating, all because they went to prom together. But come to find out that Brandy was actually dating someone else, and it was the guy from Boyz II Men. Yeah, and that's all up and through the book as well. But The article reminds us that while the show ran for 5 seasons and continually climbed, the ratings never quite achieved the massive numbers that it deserved. The show, in my opinion, provided an honest presentation of family life. The article goes on to talk about, regardless of color, regardless of ethnicity, and it basically had plenty of fans. And there was a spinoff show called The Parkers. Remember, we're the Parkers, which was also hugely successful and starred Countess Vaughn as well as comedian Monique. Shout out to Mo. And although a revival of Moesha was discussed, it was never ever greenlit. Yeah, and then Brandy got a lot going on right now. You remember last year, her and Monica, they just wrapped up their tour along with Kelly Rowland, who was a part of that. Kelly basically also did an interview with Ricky Smiley, and she talked about her experience on tour, and she absolutely loved it. Loved it. And speaking of making their rounds, Brandy's making her rounds on the major radio shows, talk shows, talking about her book. And I will admit to you that I can sense, I know I'm not there like in the audience, but when she went on The View, for example, it was so many people that just kind of, they really embraced her. And I don't think that she realizes the impact that she's had. As maybe it's just the fact that she's, playing the role of being humble, but I will say that she looks genuinely surprised by the responses that she's been getting as she's been making her rounds as well. But that's just a personal observation. Y'all let me know in the comments if you think that I'm wrong about that. But her book, y'all, got some juicy parts, including her age gap relationship with Boyz II Men bandmate Wanya Morris, in which Brandy initially believed it was true love when she was dating him at 16 while he was in his early 20s, revealing that he was her first. Okay. She soon, though, caught him cheating. And in hindsight, writes, I believe he took advantage basically for the fact that she was 16 and he was in his early 20s. I think he said 22. Side note, though, something was very inappropriate. He joked about their relationship on The Breakfast Club back in, I think it was 2014, if I have the year right or wrong, but it was The Breakfast Club where he joked about it. Being in a relationship with somebody who was younger at an inappropriate age, basically. And they was making a joke about it with Charlemagne the God and all the things, but it just seemed like it was very boyish the way that he handled that instead of taking full responsibility for that particular instance, because he knew that she was 16. In fact, that's something that Brandy wrote in the book, that he had made a comment at a time that said, "Oh, I can't believe my girlfriend is 16." So you knew she was underage. And even if you didn't say she was underage, why did you keep saying that, man, I can't believe my girlfriend is 16? You knew. Because who wants to be the butt of a joke when you made a decision as a minor, right? She also addresses lying about being married when she welcomed her daughter Sarai with producer Robert Smith in 2002. She felt pressure to maintain a pristine image as she invited the idea to just tell people that they were married, but realized that all that backlash that followed, saying, I couldn't have known that this single deception would eventually alter the trajectory of my life. Brandy also played the role as Cinderella. She was the first Black Cinderella. And it's my understanding that it was Whitney Houston that specifically recommended her for the role. And they had such a great and tight relationship. In fact, that's one of the stories that's in the book where Brandy talks about her and Monica really connecting that night at the Clive Davis Grammy party. And I know there's some controversy around that because if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Shaka Khan, who was not happy about the fact that Clive still had his party that night. And unfortunately, that was the same hotel that Whitney passed away in. So with that being said, there's some other gems that's in the book as well. So y'all got to make sure that you check it out. Brandy is also coming out with a skincare line with her daughter, which is coming out soon. And side note as well with the book, I also like the fact that she starts from the beginning in the book, telling her life story of their days in Mississippi, how her dad started, and her dad was actually a part of a band, how her mom and dad actually met. Also having a bully in school, but still making best friends with the sister of the bully after the bully was unalive before a school year began. So there's a lot of different jewels and gems that you'll see, I feel like, in the book. And Brandy's one of those folks that I feel like she's kind of been hidden. She really has not come out to really talk about a lot of things that's going on with her life. If I'm being transparent, one of the ways that we're able to really see the inside of what's going on with Brandy is because Ray J is out in these streets. Okay, that's the reason why we really know what's going on, is because of Ray J. We wouldn't know what's going on with the Norwoods if it wasn't for Ray J. So Ray, just keep your health good. You still here with us, and that's all we can be excited about, right? So shout out to the Norwood family and congratulations again to Brandy on her brand new book, Phases, which y'all is available right now via Hoopla and Libby, both free platforms made possible through our local library. And I'm listening to it right now on Libby. Yeah, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Wanted to transition us right into page 5 of People magazine, where we have In Vogue members Terry Ellis, as well as Cindy Haran, as well as Maxine Jones on stage with Salt and Pepper, as well as TLC, to perform a medley of hits. The three groups, of course, is going to be launching their iconic tour this summer, but will Chili be the problem for the whole girl group cast? I'm asking because I don't know, because we'll say that we're going to boycott, and then are we? Are we really going to? Listen, the person that should be mad the most right now is Chrisette Michele, because y'all canceled her and y'all still supporting people like Nelly that then supported the 45th and 47th. Yeah, Chrisette Michele had to suffer. But are y'all going to make this tour suffer as a result of the fact that Chili Rosanda Thomas is out here saying some crazy stuff and donating to, well, it's really the fact that this retweet, I know y'all have heard, one being a retweet about a negative view on Michelle Obama's looks. And although she came out with an apology saying that the buttons are so close, I guess like the retweet button, it was an accident, that she would never do anything like that. I don't know if everybody sort of believed her, but what they did do is they continued to just dig and dig and dig and diggity. Because the true issue came when it was noticed that she donated to the 45th and 47th campaign, giving the impression that she was a MAGA supporter. And there are some, I know, that will say that you can be Republican without being MAGA, but there are others who have just kind of lumped them in one in the same, okay? But either way, Chili, they still not having it. But will it affect the ticket sales this summer for the tour? Since some said that they weren't going if Chili was going to be showing up. And we can't have T-Bun solo on the tour as TLC. We're going to see if y'all going to do that. But Chili, watch the button, sis. And y'all get off Chili's ass, because a lot of your faves are Republicans, right? I think what they really mad about is the fact that you did that retweet for Michelle Obama. Watch that. Out of all the people, girl, don't be put some respect on Michelle's name, okay? Pre-sale tickets are already available and started on March the 24th for the concert, with general sales opening on March the 26th at 10 a.m. via livenation.com. And the tour, y'all, kicks off on August the 15th in Franklin, Tennessee, and will make stops in cities including Chicago, Toronto, Atlanta, and Las Vegas before wrapping up October the 11th in Concord, California. I think I said that right. I think I have that right. I don't know what that is. What is that? Speaking of what is that, y'all, Tiger Woods DUI arrest. Let's talk about it real quick. Tiger Woods' friends has basically expressed some concern after his recent DUI arrest, and Tiger has reportedly now officially been checked into a treatment center in Switzerland. Okay, flew out over to Switzerland to go to. Now that's a treatment center. If you ain't gonna, now that's a money treatment center. Where are we going? We're going to Switzerland. Page 10 basically tells us the story of the latest arrest of the legend, saying that just after 2 p.m. on March the 27th, Tiger was involved in a car accident. And when police arrived at the scene, Tiger was standing by the overturned vehicle where he had crawled out of the passenger side. Now, I'm going to be transparent with you. When I seen the photo of Tiger outside of the vehicle, he looked like he was a witness, not a passenger. Like, that's how. Now, this isn't a video. This was literally like just a picture. I was like, oh, but he looked like he the witness. He don't look like the passenger at all. But Tiger did show signs of impairment, says the police, but it was not due to alcohol being involved, because Tiger basically did like that breathalyzer test and he blew triple zeros, right? But Woods did, however, refuse to take a urine test. But there was also 2 pills reportedly that was found in his pocket. So it sounds to me like the issue is not an alcohol-related problem. It sounds like specifically with this, it may have been something related to the pills. But Tiger was charged with property damage and refusal to submit a lawful test before being released on bail hours later, says the article in People. Tiger also released a statement saying, "I know and I understand the seriousness of the situation I find myself in today. I am stepping away for a period of time to seek treatment and focus on my health. This is necessary in order for me to prioritize my well-being and work towards lasting recovery. I'm committed to taking the time needed to return in a healthier, stronger, and more focused place, but both personally and professionally. I appreciate your understanding and support and ask for privacy for my family, loved ones, and myself at this time." Now, I do take treatment and sobriety very seriously. If you've heard some of my episodes over the past year, that's one of the reasons why you've heard me just kind of cheer on Black China, for example. But anybody who's dealing with a substance abuse issue, drug-related issue, whatever it might be, my heart goes out to you. As a reminder, Tiger won 15 professional major championships and is a legend in the golf world. Personally, this is my also personal thought, but it's also coming from a person that's I'm not a sportsy person, so this is a feeling, not a fact, right? But I thought his 2019 stint was such a highlight that he should have just used it to add to his already legendary legacy. Because 15 is a great number to stop on to me, but maybe it's because I'm not as competitive when it comes to sports. But there are areas I'm competitive in. I think it's just not sports. I'm one of the people that's like, everybody should get a trophy. And then people who play sports like, no, everybody ain't win. Everybody don't get no trophy. And I'm like, okay, let me shut up. Although the research I found said that Tiger was one win away from tying with Jack Nicklaus, who has 6 Masters wins. He has yet to reach that goal of 6 green jackets. So I don't know if that was his goal, to be like, listen, if I may not be the person with the most Masters, but at least I'm going to tie with the person with the most, and we're going to be up there together until somebody, passes us up. But Jack also, just a side note, he reportedly has been very supportive with Tiger during this difficult time, saying that sometimes you get, too far down the line and you just need somebody to help you. I think he probably needs some help. That's what he said. He said, and we all want to help him. He went on to say that obviously I feel bad for Tiger. I like Tiger. I don't just like him. I like him a lot. He's been taking painkillers for a long time, and I don't know how much pain he's in because I just don't know. So he does have some folks that's in his field that's actually supporting him. But he also has some folks that don't feel, the same way. And I will say on a side note, Tiger is featured on the cover of the 2026 Athlon Sports magazine, available via Libby, a free streaming platform made possible through our local library. But they're celebrating him in a way, right? So it seems like these messages are a little bit mixed. Just like anything, when you're on the inside of things, you know what the truth is. They knew that Tiger has had a problem. They've known it for a long time. We've known because of that accident he had back in 2021. That was a bad one back in California. I think he almost, they say, reportedly lost his leg, all of the things. But I'm saying all that to say, Tiger, these are signs. Please take heed, take it easy. And it's my understanding that Charlie, who is your son, has had some victories in the golf world. He's already reportedly committed to Florida State University for the 2027 recruiting class. Charlie also reportedly played alongside his father in the PNC championship. So when it comes to sobriety, I do not joke about it. I take it very seriously. I do wish the best for Tiger and hope his treatment facility, his treatment process goes well, and he has the recovery and the time that he needs to recover properly. Yeah. And speaking of proper real quick, I want to give a congratulations, and this is a little bit of some late news. Congratulations to rapper Afroman, born Joseph Foreman, who basically won a defamation lawsuit last month after police illegally raided his home in Ohio. He defended his work on First Amendment grounds and said he issued the diss tracks to cover damages from the raid, including a broken gate and a front door. YouTuber Emily D reviewed the trial. She's not the only one, but that's the person that I actually looked at. And she reminds us that Afroman was sued in 2023 over music and music videos he created after Adams County Sheriff's Office served a search warrant at his home. He was never charged. His home was damaged, though, and he used footage from his home camera system in his music video and was then sued because as a result of the music videos, it really did show the officers in a bad light. So whatever town they was in, people would sometimes either make fun of some of them, all of the things. So this civic defamation case took place on March the 16th through the 18th, 2026. And Emily D. Baker takes a look at opening, closing, and key testimonies from the case. I'll link it in the show notes. But congrats again to Afroman. Da 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 da. Okay, let me move on, y'all. For access, though, to the full YouTube episodes of our show, please be sure to browse the channel. And as a reminder, y'all, we hosted Blogmas in honor of Black History Month, so check that out as well on the channel. Also, be sure to subscribe to our backup channel, Hey Critics, also linked in the show notes. And thanks again for tuning in to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel, where you get commentary reviews and tabloid news. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload.